Hey there, folks. My name is Amiibo Jason, and welcome to another episode of the Nintendo Wiretap, this time for April 2nd, 2018. Now, from time to time, it turns out to be a slow news day, and today is one of those days. Now, rather than not have a wiretap at all, I thought that we could take a look at some of the most wanted DLC for Super Mario Odyssey, specifically some things that we know should be coming, and some things that we really hope are coming soon. So if you watch the Nintendo Wiretap on a semi-regular basis, you know that there was a data mine from Super Mario Odyssey not that long ago. In that data mine, we got information on a bunch of new costumes, and many people thought, well, these could be happening, or maybe it's completely bogus. Well, it turns out that two of those costumes ended up coming out in a surprise DLC update for Super Mario Odyssey, and that was the Satellaview suit and helmet, and a baseball uniform and a baseball helmet. So that being said, the other costumes that were shown off, which we have going on the screen right now, appear to be real, at least in some capacity as well. That means we should be getting a steady release of DLC coming to Super Mario Odyssey. But besides the costumes, we want to talk about other things that we're hoping to see in Super Mario Odyssey coming down the line. One of the things we know should be coming is something that was found in the data mine, and that is the Link costume from The Legend of Zelda. Now, what could this mean? Is this going to be paid or maybe a free DLC? It could be really anything, but in our opinion, we're hoping this is something a bit more premium. Now, I know many people, myself included, are ready to drop any amount of money for Nintendo to take Mario to Hyrule. That would be an amazing kingdom for Mario to explore, and one heck of a crossover to boot. This also opens the doors for Mario capturing other enemies that aren't necessarily in the Super Mario Bros. Realm. That means we could see Mario capturing an Octorok or even a Bokoblin. I mean, again, all of this at this point is kind of a stretch, but the fact that Link's costume is definitely in the game, at least in some capacity based on the data mine, this might not be completely crazy. But as far as my wish list goes, I have this on the side of the list that is probably not going to happen. But let's talk about things that we might end up seeing in Super Mario Odyssey, things that are a bit more Mario-ish. The first one, and I know something a lot of people have been asking for, is a tie to Luigi's Mansion. This would be a really neat kingdom for Mario to explore, and we also could see something in the form of capturable boos or even dry bones, two things I know many Mario fans have been hoping to see in Super Mario Odyssey. And with a brand new release of Luigi's Mansion on the Nintendo 3DS coming out soon, it might be good timing for Nintendo to do a little bit of cross-promotion. Not to mention, I really think, besides the Cap Kingdom, we are missing a spooky kingdom in Super Mario Odyssey, so this could be something that I definitely see Nintendo doing, at least at some point in the future. Maybe even a playable Luigi? Maybe that's asking too much. Isle Delfino is another thing that players have been wanting to see in the game before it was even released. Something that I'm not sure if Nintendo is going to revisit or not. It's definitely a huge piece of Mario's history. Maybe something closer to the time when the Virtual Console launches on the Switch. Maybe some sort of cross-promotion with Super Mario Sunshine releasing on the Switch in a digital format. We could see something with Odyssey celebrating that fact. Super Mario Sunshine's world is honestly so big, there's so many things that Nintendo could do if they decide to bring Super Mario Odyssey into that realm. Maybe even the return of Shadow Mario? I know personally I've missed him for some time, so having him back in the game in some capacity would be amazing. Now, besides that, I did ask the Nintendo Wire team what kind of things they would like to see in Super Mario Odyssey, at least from a kingdom perspective. Yoshi's Island was definitely high on the list, something having to do with Wario Land, even though that might be a little bit tricky, some sort of Super Mario Maker crossover. I could totally see how that could potentially work, but I'm not sure if Nintendo has that too high on the priority list. And finally, I know a lot of people on our team are hoping to have some sort of crossover with Super Mario Galaxy. How that would look, I'm not sure, at least right now, but I could see Nintendo trying to have some sort of nostalgia trip with that as well. Next up, let's talk about costumes. We also saw the Link costume as we mentioned before, but besides that, there wasn't any real Nintendo crossovers, and that's something I really hope Nintendo fixes. There are so many characters that could have an amazing costume in Super Mario Odyssey. The idea of having costumes not necessarily tied in the world of Super Mario makes me really excited. Something like Samus, Captain Falcon, or maybe even Pit from Kid Icarus. Even getting some third-party love in there, maybe a Mega Man costume, or Sonic the Hedgehog would even be a really cool outfit to see in Super Mario Odyssey. And with Mario Odyssey's continuous success, this is something that Nintendo could do for upwards to maybe even a few years, having new DLC costumes coming every few weeks, maybe even every few months, to keep the hype of Super Mario Odyssey alive. But now I need to ask you, what do you think of DLC being added to Super Mario Odyssey on a regular basis? If there are new kingdoms, what kingdoms do you want to see? Do you want to focus more on Nintendo properties, or do you want Nintendo to expand outside of that, maybe into Zelda or Metroid or something similar to that? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Also, let us know what kind of costumes you want to see in Super Mario Odyssey. Are you hoping for anything in particular? Is there something that you would love to see, something that you would hate to see? Again, let us know down below. And that's going to wrap up today's episode of the Nintendo Wiretap, again, for April 2nd, 2018. That's it for today, guys. Have a good one. Bye, guys.